What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report, as well as all of the other things that we do here. Appreciate you guys taking time out on your Sunday afternoon and taking time away from being held hostage.
Held hostage at the whim of a the whim of a madman. I like that.
The whim of a madman, and I dare say that that is Stephen Jones, and I'm beginning to think that he is holding Jerry Jones hostage and making all these crazy ass moves. If you are a channel member, shout out to you for being channel members, the extra support and all that. If you are a channel member, go to the community tab. In there is a link for you guys to click on, so that way you guys can be part of the studio audience. And of course, we're going to be checking out. You don't have to be. You don't have to be here. But hey, it's okay about Timmy. Timmy's special. He's special. He's an Eagle fan. He's special. Let him go ahead and go. Let me go ahead and get our buddies up in here. I know we got my man Primetime Phil. We got Michael Martinez, and we got Troy Daniels all in the house. And let me go ahead and see if I can pop this up here. Excuse me, my panel. How are you guys doing today? Anybody?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good here.
Well, you guys are good?
I'm
yeah,
good.
I mean,
I'm good.
Okay.
Hey, I'm actually shocked that the Cowboys made 2 moves already.
Are they really moves?
I don't know. Yeah,
they're better than nothing moves, I guess.
Fowler probably yet to be determined, but Washington, when he was over in Pittsburgh, I saw some signs there.
I definitely, yeah. I mean, there were some times where he played against us. I mean, he, scorched us as well too.
I'm muted.
Like the signing is really well. I like it.
Wait, hang on, hold on.
Could we have done better? Oh, you're muted. I got you.
They said I'm muted. I'm hearing you. I'm seeing it going out on this end. He looks like you're muted. Who?
Maybe
Say what?
you might have to try it again.
Hold on. Let me double check on this, because I sometimes I get people. You're muted. That's one guy that's saying it.
I see a couple in the chat.
Okay, hold up.
Muted too.
Let me double check my audio. I sometimes I get.
Yeah, I'm hearing it when I look at the broadcast.
You're hearing me?
Yeah, I am too.
Okay. All right. So we just have a jackass in there that is fucking with us. You're muted. He's spamming. Do we have any of our just trolls? I can hear you. Okay. So, Young Goat, how about you're new here, Young Goat. How about you?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm looking at the needles here. The needles pumping up and all that. All right. So here's my thing. Okay. So I started a playlist of what stupid thing did Stephen Jones do now, today. And literally every day you can find some content on it. All right. So I'm sitting here. I went to my mama's house. They had some plumbing issues. I had to snake a drain. And I felt like I was, working on the Dallas Cowboys because I was dealing with some crap. And I hear that the Cowboys may be interested in JPP.
Oh, heck no.
But that's the thing about it is every single thing is the Cowboys are interested. Cowboys are interested. That's the only news we have this offseason.
Well, that's all we have. But I'm sitting here like, people that were saying, oh, no, Von Miller, he's too old. And it's like, you're now talking about JPP? JPP, who had rotator cuff surgery, who had a broken hand.
Missing half of his hand.
Missing half a hand, and is like been in the league like 13 years. And it's like, that's what we're talking about? To me, it's almost crazy, because you can almost look at all of the big contracts recently have all gone to guys that are injured. We got Michael Gallup back, and he may not be ready to start the season, right?
Yeah.
He literally is come out of he's probably on a cast signing his contract extension, right? Oh, we got to keep him.
A lot of the moves bad.
Well, we got to keep him. But Amari Cooper, who's healthy, we're paying more money for Amari Cooper not to be here, $6 million, than the Browns are paying him this year to actually play.
Yeah. And they just extended his contract over there, too.
But with voidable years, so they can get out of it. That's using the system.
There's a lot of contracts on the offense that we're just gonna have. They're gonna have to start eating. I mean, there's a lot of big contracts that are sitting there all across the offense. And when you have an offense that doesn't produce like they did last year, when you have everything in place, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's holes. You mean your left guard wasn't great. Your center was kind of off.
Yeah.
You know, your tight end, you didn't have a backup. Your receivers weren't great at zone attacking. I mean, there were things there, but I mean. And you had an offense that, and one offensive weapon that your offensive coordinator could not take advantage of. So you have to move them because otherwise, I mean, what do you do in this offseason? Absolutely nothing. And you're not doing anything next season. Everything's speculation and everything's rumors. And yeah.
Shout out to EJB. Mark, big fan on the super chat. Big fan of your cooking channel. I've lost 10 pounds in 25 days. Damn, you doing it, my man. Shout out to you.
Good job, EJB.
And see, I can actually wear it. I don't know if you guys had noticed, but see, I'm actually wearing a tight shirt today.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can always tell by
look at that body.
Doing that body.
Look at that body.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what? I'm feeling kind of sexy today.
Look at that sexy body.
Okay, I got a long ways to go, but I'm feeling a lot better.
Good.
But here's where it's crazy. So
within a year, he'll be wearing some like wife beaters or something like that. Yeah?
No, we're not going to go quite that far because I got the farmer's tan and all. I'm doing construction workout. But here's what's crazy. As we're told, we can't. And Mike McCarthy followed this up this morning too. About, you have to make hard decisions financially because of the cap. At the same time that the Browns go out and get Amari Cooper, right? And they decide we're going to try and hold on to Jarvis Landry and we're going to get Deshaun Watson. And they've got $39 million in cap room still. We're not signing anybody and we only have 26.
Yeah, it is the first year of this big, huge move. So I think it'll be interesting here 2 or 3 from these moves, but right now they look amazing. I mean, you have playoff hopes. I mean, where you went from absolutely nothing to a jokes of a meme where Amari Cooper moves over to Baker. I mean, now you're legitimate contender now. What's the rest of the pieces, To
be honest with you, I was shocked when I heard that he was actually going to go to Cleveland because, it had supposedly been narrowed down to the Saints and the Falcons.
Yeah. Well, to the point where, I'll tell you what, how would you like to be Atlanta right now? Because you went through and said, Matty Ice, you can go ahead and try and get another deal. We're going to hold off on that bonus payment that we're supposed to have for you that's supposed to be there, last week. We're going to hold that till Tuesday. And so now all of a sudden, now you get back, you're the guy we always wanted. It's kind of like, okay. Could you imagine doing that with your wife? Hey, Thomas Garrett. What's up, Thomas?
Hey, what's going on?
Man,
well,
I want to know myself what's going on.
Well, I figured that it was going to be Atlanta because, you figure he's born and raised outside of Atlanta and, he was a ball boy for Atlanta as a kid. And, it would have been one of those, sweet stories.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the last second there, boom! All of a sudden, he's then a Cleveland doo-doo Brown. Now, here's the thing that you have to worry about though. If you're the Browns, it's kind of like Washington. Whenever somebody goes to Washington, no matter who they are, they always seem to end up being fucked up. Right? Am I wrong? And it's like Cleveland. How many great prospects have gone to the Browns and end up being terrible? Baker Mayfield was the number 1 draft pick. And look what happened to him. How many quarterbacks have they left just careers destroyed in their wake?
Like Detroit.
Yeah, like Detroit. Yeah. Or Washington. I mean, Alex Smith literally almost lost a leg. Ryan Fitzpatrick survived how many bad franchises? He couldn't get through one game, okay? So does anybody think Carson Wentz is going to end up being upright by the end of the year in Washington?
I think he breaks both legs, but I
maybe two negatives will equal a positive. I mean, you got so negative on Washington, you got so negative on Carson. Maybe that'll something happen.
Yeah, okay. Two negatives make a positive.
Maybe on his first sack, he falls back. They kind of separate his shoulder, maybe. I don't know.
Mark.
Yeah.
I have 2 words to say about that.
What's that?
NFL Siberia.
Yeah, that's what it is. But, all of a sudden, maybe being up there is cool. I mean, they're trying to bring back Jarvis Landry. He definitely has some weapons. Now, how much rust will he have, not having played last year? And the other thing, where we talk about, well, Dak is garbage. And if your whole thing is it's only about the quarterback, then how do you explain the 4-12 season that he had his last year he played?
Well, he didn't really have any weapons around him or an offensive line to protect him.
Oh, but that's an excuse. Wait. So hold on. Hold on.
About the quarterback.
Hold on. I thought everything was about the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we're not.
We had 2 running backs that were on one leg, and we had an offensive line that was not good.
Watson like crazy. The Dak haters will defend Deshaun Watson like crazy, but Dak sucks and all those other things. But Deshaun Watson's better than Dak. But
Mike. Hold on, Mike Fisher and Skip Bayless both said that in the last couple of days.
Oh yeah,
both of them said, "Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson's better than Dak." What is it that Deshaun Watson has done that Dak hasn't? You got the same playoff record. Same playoff record. They both only have one, right? Right.
Deshaun Watson has been better at going 4-12 than Dak does.
Well, yeah, Dak has never had anything close to that.
Watson brings the rushing element too. Well, it's part of his game, not just something that he does.
All right.
But he's also a running quarterback, but
he also has a lot of baggage with him.
Once they get hurt, they're never the same.
Right.
And I think Lamar is the same way too, because I believe he got hurt.
Oh, hold on. See, here we go. Dak has 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. What 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen does he have? What 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen did he have this year?
What have you done for me lately?
Seriously,
we had a backup. Like I don't know.
I think Tyron was Tyron.
Hold it. Zach Martin. Okay, the only consistent Pro Bowl offensive lineman we have right now is Zach Martin. And if you're saying, so you're counting Travis Frederick. How long has Travis Frederick been gone now?
About 3
years now. So when see, and this is the kind of bullshit right here. Oh, the Cowboys, they got 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. Okay, so 1 out of the last 4 years is how much Travis Frederick has played. 1 out of the last 4 years. Tyron Smith played 14 games the year before and only played, I think, was it 11 this year? But you can't look at Tyron Smith from the first half of the season to the second half of the season and say that he was a Pro Bowl player. You had garbage at center with Badish, who literally was in Dak Prescott's lap. You had the most penalized player at guard, left guard, and Connor Williams right there. You had no running game to speak of. If you had 3 current Pro Bowl players with that, any running back would have done more than 50 yards, which we had games that literally were in there. So I'm going to call bullshit on that, whoever you were on that one. 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. Yeah, that's why we have 2 holes and 2 guys right now that we have to replace. Are you saying that Terrence Steele is a Pro Bowler? Are you saying Tyron Smith right now is a Pro Bowler? I'm not. I'm definitely not saying Tyler Badish isn't. And who's left guard? So don't give me that shit right there. Oh, we got a great offensive line. Bullshit. We ain't had a great offensive line since 2018. What?
Terrence Steele was the one that's most improved.
Without a doubt. I kept saying that when Lyle Collins came back, don't mess with Terrence Steele. He's got the right taken care of. When they ended up putting him over on the right side and then having actually him sitting in games, that was a mistake. You had Lyle Collins and of course Tyron Smith starting, and Tyron Smith never really got his gears back into gear. And you had Terrence Steele sitting on, and it was like he's the 3rd best offensive lineman we got, and he's sitting on the bench.
Terrence Steele was the one that was riding pretty high. We should have just kept him over there at right to tackle, because Collins was how do you say it? Like he was rusty. He wasn't in shape.
Yeah. And here's the thing. He had hip surgery. And, once you have hip surgery, you're never really the same guy.
Mm-hmm. True.
That's why Blake's gone. That's why Blake's gone now.
Well, Blake is beyond just regular hip surgery. I think he's got a degenerative hip. Basically, they're saying,
Mark,
yeah.
I'm gonna continue on saying it. And I told Law Nation this when I was down in Dallas back in November. I'm gonna continue on saying it. The mistake that Dallas made was when they did not move Lyle Collins back to left guard.
I agree.
If they would have done that, Lyle Collins would be this release would have never happened.
Yeah.
It would have never happened.
So Lyle Collins, everybody's saying he's finalized his deal with the Bengals. Well, congratulations to him. Yeah. He definitely got plenty of we had Baltimore wanted him, New England wanted him, I think Miami wanted him. He definitely had some play.
And I think Denver wanted him too.
Yeah. So, it's funny that we have good players that other teams want, but can't seem to wait to get the most out of them. And herein lies, I think, half of the problem with the Dallas Cowboys is they don't know how to develop talent, and they don't know how to deal with a situation that isn't ideal.
Well, and they seemingly take stuff personal instead of just doing business.
That's the problem with the family business.
True. And here's where I think that this is with Amari Cooper is think about from the time that he came back from COVID, it seems like he became the afterthought on the offense. And that was the time, of course, that Jerry Jones went off about, being a team player and having the COVID shot and was pissed off. If you believe what what Cole Beasley was saying, that they get the ball to who they want to get it to.
Yeah.
And you don't know if there was a narrative of Jerry Jones saying, F Amari Cooper, get the ball to CD, because that's my guy. We're going to get it to CD. The hell with Amari Cooper. He's dead to me. Because the deal that they did for getting rid of him, I'm sorry. That was that was personal. We're just going to get you out.
Just targeting someone else. I mean, they didn't even target someone else. It just wasn't even that. It was just they schemed it so much that they just couldn't even go, hey, I'm going to throw it to you. You just get ready to get it. And that's all it had to be. Hey, go down to the car and turn around. Like that's all it is. Like, but they couldn't do that. I mean, that's what this whole thing is kind of stemming off of,
Lonnie Holmes, you're 100%. We don't know how to manage the salary cap. Paying the right players the right money is the problem, right? And that's where Stephen Jones is got to be the worst negotiator in the world.
I agree.
How many? Mark, it's time. It's time for the Joneses to put their egos to the side and bring in a GM. It's time.
They have a GM.
Yeah, I don't mind them being a face.
They have Will McClay, who is the player, head of scouting.
He knows talent.
It's not a matter of that, but okay, I can know all the stuff in the world, but if you don't listen, what good is it?
Exactly, that's the problem.
They need to use one of those GM calculators online. I mean, I would even take that over what he's deciding each year. Something to generate it for him.
All we need is a straight jacket for Stephen Jones to put him in the loony bin.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like he has actually got Jerry Jones locked up in a room or tied to a chair or something rather, held hostage. And it's just like, I'm going to run this thing. We literally have a crazy person running the Dallas Cowboys ship right now. And we're about to be run aground.
Until we hear from Jerry, I'm going to be worried about Jerry.
I am.
Here's my question. I mean, they're trying to save all this money. What are they trying to do with it? Because it seems like every time they talk about, we're in cap hell, they turn around and sign players off the street. So it's
Mel X Jr., shout out to you. Actually, I'm going to be on Toby's side here for a second, which I can't believe, or at least pose the question, because we've done this before where we've paid guys, a really high contract that kind of wows you. And, Randy Gregory getting the $70 million, do we really know that would have been good money spent? Is it going to be that maybe a couple of years from now we actually look back and say, you know what, it's a good thing we didn't? Because we've had situations where we've always said we can't live without this guy. We pay him, and it's like, damn, I can go back to Miles Austin. When you look at the contract of him having one good year, I can go back to Marion Barber and some of these other guys. It may end up being that Randy Gregory is, just going to be a 5-6 sack guy a year. He's going to have a few injuries, and it's going to be nothing that's to write home about as far as a contract. I mean, we've had guys like Jason Hatcher who stepped up, had 11 sacks, 2013, and we let him go. The next year he goes back down to 5 sacks, and next year's 3 sacks, and then he's out of football league. So
who knows?
But who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? You got to remember Dante Fowler. He did have a double-digit sack season.
11 years, 1 year. Well, here's what's interesting. If you look at the numbers, when he was with Jacksonville, that was I can't remember if it was Jacksonville or the Rams. He had 8 in 1 year with Jacksonville. But when Jacksonville had other good players there around him, and the same thing with the Rams, he ended up doing well. You could look at last year that he was with Atlanta. It's not like Atlanta had a whole lot of dogs that are in there. Sometimes you're a product of the people around you in the system. And if you have some good players like a Micah Parsons, and maybe I'm getting one-on-one, then maybe you end up having better plays. But this whole narrative that they're trying to sell us now that, we didn't get Randy Gregory, but, we brought back Dorrance Armstrong, who is a decent player. And, of course, we were able to bring back Van Der Esch. And, we got 4 guys for the price of that one. Yeah, but we've done that quite a few times. And the reality is, in some of those cases, those 4 guys are here maybe for 1 year. Some of them don't even get out of training camp. And they don't necessarily make a difference on the team.
Yeah, if you remember, Dante Fowler, he did have your boy with him.
Calais Campbell.
With him down in Jacksonville, had Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
That year, they led the league in sacks, and Calais
went to the AFC Championship
game. Second in the MVP race for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, and with a coach like that you have in a situation of having Dan Quinn that can coach him and things, and maybe able to get more out of him than what others will. I'm not going to poo-poo any of those guys just yet, but you have to look at the pedigree on some of these guys and say, as
Randy
other teams,
going to be your defensive player of the year at any point?
I don't think he's going to be. No.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't. So. And people are going to say, "Oh, it's revisionist history here." But the thing I've always bothered me about Randy Gregory is he would end up getting a penalty at the worst damn time.
Took stuff personal.
Yeah. It would be, he's too low at hitting the quarterback, or it's a late hit, or just like the tackle. See, people will go through and say, "Well, Amari Cooper, he didn't block." Those last 2 plays and things like that. But I could go back and say, if Randy Gregory doesn't get the tackle penalty on 3rd down, we get the ball with more time left on the clock, and maybe we get down there and score and win the game. So if you're going to point fingers, let's point fingers at all the situations out there. And Randy Gregory is as much to blame as Amari Cooper is. And Amari Cooper, where you said that, he didn't block, dude has run his route. What, do you want to block the guy in the back and get a flag?
Well, the offensive
Mark, that was the one thing that used to piss me off about Randy Gregory. When he got them penalties, he got them at pivotal moments.
Right.
And he would get like 2 or 3 of them. I mean,
he had 3 in the playoff game, guys.
Yeah.
And the bad part about it was the majority of them penalties happened on 3rd down when we was about ready to
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Seems like that's when we got them all the time with 3rd downs.
Yeah. Because that's when you're pass rushing.
They couldn't avoid it.
But it's funny though, because the referees will see us holding, but they didn't see the 49ers holding all day.
Well, of course, everybody always sees more on the Cowboys than any place else.
Oh, Roger Goodell was at that game, so he was sitting there probably talking to him on his phone or whatever.
Yeah, didn't you see that call?
Yeah, something like that. So, shout out to everybody who's out there. We appreciate everybody who's in here right now with the chat and stuff. If you are a channel member like Mark Hutchins or Perry Locke and all that, if you go to the community tab and want to join us in the chat, you are welcome to come on in. We have Primetime Phil, Thomas Garrett, Michael's up in here, DMV and James Nooks and Thomas Garrett and stuff. And we're all kind of having a vent session right now with what the Cowboys are doing. So with Randy Gregory kind of basically, people going after him, Cowboy fans are kind of baiting him and saying, basically you're just greedy or you don't want to be held accountable and this, that, and the other. And at some points you want to, kind of push back on, being told that you're an asshole and stuff, and kind of set the record straight. What Randy Gregory just did, if he had been a Dallas Cowboy right now, he could have been suspended or lost his money, because he literally said, after this person, Jay said, your bills were going to get paid with the contract the Cowboys gave you. It was the same contract with one extra rule for you to follow. You just don't want to be held accountable. Same problem that caused you to be suspended so much. The one thing, here's the thing I want to say at least about Randy Gregory, because I can go with both sides of this thing. But with Randy Gregory, the only issue you ever heard about Randy Gregory was he kept getting suspended for smoking weed, right? He was dumb enough to get caught at the combine and then had to be tested weekly. That's what most people don't seem to understand. He got tested every single week. You could end up having Chris Long, who admitted after he stopped playing, hey, you just passed the test in April, and then you go back to smoking weed on a regular, and you just start again. Stop smoking weed in February, you drink alcohol, take pain pills, and you're good. He's like, I smoked weed every single week of my career. Randy Gregory probably smoked less weed than Chris Long did, but because he's tested every week, of course, he'd end up testing positive a couple times, and boom, he's done. But it wasn't like he was a drunk driver. It wasn't like he went after coaches. It wasn't like he was like, I'm not going to practice. The only thing that he got ever hit for was smoking weed. And now you can't get suspended for it. Right?
That's when he goes to another place.
He's in Denver, so Denver.
Well, right, but no, the NFL can fine you for smoking weed. They'll take your money. That's kind of the weed tax. But you can't be suspended for not passing a drug test for marijuana. So the one thing that kept getting him knocked out is no longer an issue. He can smoke weed till his heart's content as long as it's not in front of the police and gets arrested for it.
Well, I mean, how many of our players were getting fined for stupid things like not tucking in shirts and stuff? And it's in the contract, and nobody can get your money, and at no point did the clause ever get pulled. You're just using an excuse to turn the other way. And if you had buyer's remorse type thing where you slept on it and then you woke up the next day and go, you know what, this is not what I want.
Right.
Then own up to it as a man, but don't try to come out and hide behind an agent and stuff. And I truly believe Stephen Jones did some shady crap as well too there. I mean,
so if you were Randy, how would you personally feel if they pulled some shady stuff on you and you go to one job where your money's fully guaranteed, nothing's going to happen, or the other, even though they say they haven't used it, the clause is still there that was slid into the last minute, and you could get fined, like you said, for something stupid like having your shirt untucked. And now they can pull that clause if they're pissed off and had a bad day and want to do it.
Right.
I think that should have been the main decision right off the bat.
Well, but here's the thing.
Mike Fisher said it best. There's no telling what happened in that room.
I mean, honestly, it could be a girlfriend. I don't like the area anymore. I wanted to live somewhere new. You don't know what it is exactly.
But here's the thing. Okay, the thing that kind of kills me though is, no matter what, some fans are always going to believe that the organization is always on the up and up, and it is always the players that are greedy. They're not a team player. How dare they not want to be here? The people who were happy that he was about to sign are now the ones that you're a piece of shit. You're worthless and get out. Sorry, Dad.
I still love him.
I know, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, they're going to take the Joneses side, and it's like, do you understand everything that's transpired between Amari Cooper and how he was treated to Jaron Kearse, who they lowballed to the point where he just said, I could have erased anything that's Dallas Cowboys, to DeMarcus Lawrence being lowballed to $10 million. And then Randy Gray. I mean, you just have case after case after case where you look at it and kind of have to say, that ain't right.
Yeah.
But you think that, it was everything they did with Randy Gregory, that was okay. Come on, man. Come on.
I'm been pissed off about how everything ended.
Everything ended as in the last game?
No, but
it's not ended. That's the thing about it. It's not ended. We're gonna play each other at some point. This isn't ended.
Yeah.
No, it's about the contract. That's what I'm pissed off about.
Oh, okay.
Well, in a bigger context than Randy, all the cases that you gave and everything we already know, you're a player looking to come in.
You're sitting there thinking twice about this.
Well, I mean, look at
that's a stink on wanting to come in the first place.
Well, that's what makes me to believe everybody's talking about, we should sign JPP, but what makes you think he's going to want to come over here?
There you go.
Well, let's back up here for a second, okay? So we're trying to do defensive end by committee again by a bunch of bargain basement guys. I'm sorry, JPP is truly blue light special at this point.
Is he better than what we
have?
Yeah,
but is Stephen Jones going to pay him?
No. Injured, old, a lot of miles on him. Rotator cuff surgery, broken hand, half a hand that's been blown off. 13 or 14 years in the league. So this is Dontari Poe all over again. That's Dontari Poe all over again.
I think he's good if you have already an established crew, but yeah, not as your main guy.
You know what? I fell for that shit last time. Okay, between Gerald McCoy and what's his name from Minnesota and Dontari Poe, it was like,
Emerson
Griffin. Yeah, because here's what happens in your mind when you hear a name that you recognize. Okay, you don't think about the guy who only got 2.5 sacks this year, who couldn't stay on the field, who had the rotator cuff issue and played with that all season. You think about JPP with the Giants and what he used to do to the Cowboys years ago. You're not thinking about the guy that he is now. You get, what? We're going to get JPP? But you're not getting that JP. You're just getting kind of, you're not getting JPP. Okay, you're getting that's all you got that's left in the tank. Okay? And so a lot of times you hear a name that's, kind of old. Like people say, well, Calais Campbell's a free. It's like, yeah, I love Calais. I wanted Calais 4 years ago. But Calais Campbell right now is more of a role player, and he's on the twilight of his career and stuff. He's not going to be able to do, although he would do more damage than what we got right now. But you don't understand what I'm saying, that they're not necessarily the same player. Yeah.
Mark, I just got breaking news from Mike Fish in the Bleacher Report.
Okay.
Cincinnati had signed Lyle Collins. It's official.
Yeah, we were seeing some of those early in the chat that it was close and he was going to be a Bengal. So shout out to him on getting another gig. And maybe this is the good news is it seems like there's been a lot of talent that's gone to the AFC.
Well, I mean, we picks later, picks next year. I mean, that's.
AFC is freaking loaded, especially that AFC West.
Yeah. Thank God we played them this year and not next year.
I'm going to tell you something else. That North is loaded too.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to AFC North because that North is loaded.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for these AFC teams to get to the Super Bowl. But now...
I don't think the Bengals will go to the Super Bowl again. I think they were just lucky to be there.
Well, here, okay.
If they can protect Joe Burrow, they've got a nice young nucleus on that offense that's electric, and the defense pretty good.
Yeah.
But Joe Burrow did have this good year, but
Joe Burrow's gonna keep having good years.
You know what, though? I tell you what.
Wonder like Carson Wentz.
I worry about Joe Burrow if he's going to be like Andrew Luck with the injuries.
That would suck.
You know what I mean? He's been getting hit pretty young, pretty early.
I remember when Andrew Luck was coming out, and then after the draft, they're like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be a Hall of Famer. We can book it."
Yeah, well, they always say that, but yeah, you're right.
It's
Mark, I saw where Keanu Neal is gonna move back to safety.
I just read that.
When I read that article about an hour ago, that kind of made me think. I may be wrong. That kind of made me say to myself,
well, maybe there's still the Bobby Wagner situation.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
I hadn't heard that one, that Keanu Neal was. No, wait a minute. I thought Keanu. Wait, hold on. I thought he was a free agent.
He's moving back to safety for free agency. He wants to up his value again. He didn't do so well at linebacker. I saw the same article, and what I was thinking was if we screw up with Jaron Curse, watch him bring him back to the safety, which will be just – I don't want to see that. But
yeah, that was – I mean, it was a nice idea, when you think about all of the receivers and things, getting a guy who's a safety that can cover and playing linebacker and stuff. It just didn't pan out, and it may be that we just didn't have enough time to
it's the fact instead of putting just one person, I mean, you're putting a bunch of people in there. I think that was, Jaron Curse did amazing in the role. while you have Keanu Neal, you just got COVID twice. I think that was the highlight of his season with us.
Well, of course, you know how the Cowboys roll. Oh, Javon Kearse, you're uninjured and you played well. Oh, no, we can't keep you. Come back to us when you've got an injury. Okay. Oh, Brian, our punter, Brian Aguilar. Oh, you're Pro Bowl. No, you're not injured. Sorry, we can't keep you. We'll move on to somebody who's injured.
I remember when we kept keeping Sean Lee when he kept getting injured year after year. It's like, oh my God, this guy keeps getting injured. Let him go.
Yeah. And that's the narrative. And it doesn't make any sense because you look at players that they draft, players that have had an injury history. Well, they've fallen in the draft, so we got first round talent in the second round. I mean, you could say Randy Gregory that had that issue. It wasn't injury, but it was, of course, the weed. You could look at Tristan Hill was kind of a questionable person because he had all the issues of getting along with the coaching staff and was actually benched and wasn't allowed to start his senior year. And you can look at Van Der Esch, who had the neck injuries prior to being drafted. Of course, Jalen Smith.
Right in. You got that Michigan right in, Jobu or whatever.
Yeah.
Got hurt.
Right.
Watch, they're gonna pick him in the second round because
torn ACL. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna drop in the draft. Let's go ahead and pick him up. That's a bargain there. But it's like you expect guys that have been already injured to stay healthy, and they just don't.
Yeah.
And this is where, if we're saying, Randy Gregory, he's gone, but we're gonna go ahead and try and get JPP. What?
I wouldn't want Jason Pierre-Paul.
No, not at this point in his career. And it wouldn't surprise me if we don't get Bobby Wagner that they said, let's go ahead and get Anthony Hitchens. It's like he wasn't good enough for you when he was young and a good player, but now he's okay because he's old, right? And cheap.
How long has Anthony Hitchens been in the league?
I want to say 2013 maybe. Because it was like 2016, I think, when he left us. So as a free agent. So,
maybe we'll get extra lucky and get Darius Smith.
That one's one that it's kind of interesting with Smith because you haven't heard anything more about him with anybody since Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Since he kind of said, you know what, no, don't really want to go back to Baltimore. Yeah. And to find out, of course, we had him here and we lowballed him.
It was Stephen Jones that lowballed him.
Yeah.
I could say this.
What's that?
You haven't heard any other team talking to these players. That's in our favor.
That's where, I almost wonder if they kind of already have a deal in place with Bobby Wagner.
Know what? I was thinking the same thing too because.
Well, but think about it though.
Maybe that's why we haven't heard from Jerry Jones. Maybe he's with Bobby Wagner making a deal.
I don't know, but maybe.
Well, maybe they're just trying to wait for Wagner to come down because no one signed him, so maybe they're hoping that he's like, okay, I'll go ahead and take your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait a minute. If you hold on, if you're gonna pay Von Miller $17 million, right? You're gonna pay Von Miller $17 million. You're telling me that nobody said, let's make a call. There's no sightings, no visits anywhere. We're already a weekend almost into legal tampering tomorrow, and no visits. Now he is his own agent, and I know he's 32 years old. But if the Cowboys are talking about JPP, how is it nobody is talking about a guy who has not had less than 138 tackles since 2015? Every season, stays healthy, and can still move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, again, he's his own agent.
Not only that, he's playing like the younger line, where he's better than the younger linebackers, and first team All-Pro at that.
I mean, to put that in perspective,
Hello.
We look at Micah Parsons, who had 81 tackles. Double it and then add a few more is what my man did last year. You can't tell me, I know he's 32, that if it's Van Der Esch or Bobby Wagner, that's not a major upgrade at linebacker, and that guy would enable you to be able to take Micah Parsons and say, Micah, learn from this guy and let him become the uncaged beast that's the wild card all over this defense.
Yeah, that's one of the very rare guys you can say learn from instead of ignore.
Yeah.
You know,
there's financial value just in that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Wagner would be a great
and he
teacher
knows
for
the
sure.
system.
Definitely, that's a plus right there.
Hell, he know the system in his sleep, cause he played in it up in the Pacific Northwest with Seattle.
Bobby Wagner probably tackles in his sleep.
Yep.
You gentlemen have a good day.
Oh, you're leaving us already, Stu?
I told you it pushes right up against walking the pup in lunchtime.
Oh,
I
man.
popped in. I got to
Stuart,
eat.
I'm going to come down there.
That
I'm going to
kid's gotta
smack you
eat.
around some. You know that, right? I'm coming down there. I'm going to smack you around some.
Hey, if you choose Plano, just don't hit this side. I got a bad tooth. This side, you're good.
All right, okay. Boy, I've got all kinds of haters up in here today. Welcome to the chat, haters.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
You know what's funny here? I always say shout out to the ladies. Now I don't know who Bonnie is. Bonnie, you're new here. She immediately, first time I've ever seen you here. Mark Holmes was wrong again for I don't even know what that is. HEKKER to sign with. Who the hell is that? Who HEKKER? What player is that one? I don't even know what that is.
The punter from the Rams.
Yeah, you were wrong about him. How dare you?
I was wrong. You know, it's you know what? I guess I should take it as a compliment that people hold me to a higher standard than the professionals. You know that? I guess I should take it as a compliment because, of course, none of those guys are ever wrong about anything ever, are they?
Mark,
Roland, Stacy Schubert, how you doing? Stacy, you know what? You got me in trouble.
What I do?
You literally got a foot put in my ass.
Why?
Seriously. My wife. I guess I got to do everything. You can't get nothing right.
Mark, I'm sorry, but it's girl power. I have to stick with your wife. I love you, but I'm part of the sisterhood. Get over it. Look at that.
I think we would all side that way.
Oh, I see how y'all lady folk hang together. Look, see, here's what happened. She said she wanted a set of 4 glasses. We sent 4 glasses. We sent 2 of the broke ass media and 2 of the Jobu ones. You know, the broke ass media, those are the more expensive ones, the harder, the ones that I'm almost out of. So I was like, okay, Mike, send them to her. She don't want the broke ass media. She wants the other ones. And she went through and I'm telling my wife, you know, Mark done messed up again. The second time he done messed. And she's like, look. I'm like, well, honey, damn. She putting a foot in my ass. I guess I got to pack and ship it myself. Then don't I'm like, oh, wow.
You're not letting me have my say. Now, I told her I've been trying to complete a set.
Uh-huh.
I told her, you sent me the wrong ones before. And I said, whatever, he's stressed out. He's doing the best he can. He's a man. He can't help it. So
no, you didn't have to throw it. He's a man. He's doing the best he can. Oh, damn.
No,
right there on the
damn, Mark,
you got low blow, bro.
Damn.
You want to go there, Mr.
Oh, man. Stacy, I thought you were my girl.
That's right.
Oh, damn.
What do you want from my life?
Oh, man. Well, I can tell you what. There'll be 4 of them coming there tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. Good Lord.
Now, you knew I wasn't going to be on your side versus your wife. Come on.
I can't be
You're right. They do stick together, Mark.
We do.
You know,
and I told
bathroom together.
Look, she's stealing my friends. Okay, look at that. Just up here stealing my friends. Man. Damn. That's some.
Mark, you were talking in the background. That's why I went ahead and told her the truth, because I heard you back there grumbling. I said, well, the truth be told, this was the second mistake he made. And she just, okay, I got to do all of it. And she was like, she looked at you like, really? I loved it.
Dang, Mark, you got low blow, dude.
And
You know,
Mark, I'm sorry, I'm just coming over, but my live just ended. My live chat.
Well, see, we started at 4:30 because I thought yours ended at 4:30.
It normally does, but this guest speaker, she everyone was loving it, so she kept going. So I'm here.
I can't believe she just bitch slapped me like that.
You got called out, Mark.
She came on my show and she pulled a Bernie Mac.
The one
Bam!
on,
okay, I mean, damn. That's some sad days. Okay, she done took my show. You know, welcome to the Stacy Schubert show. Stacy, go ahead, please. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I do it right.
Yes, sir. That's right. All hail the queen.
All right. Could you do that to the Joneses for me?
Mark, you know what? I think you're right. One of your videos,
mm-hmm.
There is more to it. And Dak Prescott, to us, he doesn't say a lot. But
he can't say it. Well, no, he can because he doesn't have it in his contract. But Lord, you can't tell the truth with the Cowboys with these contracts.
There had to be a rift, though, some type of rift between Amari and Dak because, you know what I'm saying? There was something probably that we don't know about.
Yeah.
If you know,
we'll never know for sure. We'll never know. And maybe the Joneses are taking the bullet for Dak. It may be that Dak is kind of like, you know what? Amari disappears when I need him. You know, look, he should have taken the COVID shot. And, here it is. We trying to win games and he ain't there because something happened with that dynamic. You look at some of the pictures, it looked like Amari's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And even after, still going out after having COVID and being seen on the sidelines and everything, it's almost like he was saying, F this stuff.
Exactly. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Exactly. I thought the same thing, Mark. Yep.
Johnny White, shout out to Johnny with the super chat. Yeah, David, I got pimped. Yeah, I twice. At first, I got hit by my wife. I'm telling you. First, she slapped me, and then she said, "Did you send a football too?" I said, "I'll have to check." I said, "I'll have to check with Mike and see if he sent one too."
Believer. So I had to tell your wife so I can get everything in. I know it'll be right because she's involved.
See, I didn't know I got spies up in here, ratting my ass out.
It's just common knowledge, I guess.
Oh, Toby. You know what, Toby? I actually agreed with you earlier today, and I was saying, maybe Toby's okay. But he ends up becoming the jackass that he is. Breaking news, Bobby Wagner signs the Cowboys for 3 years, $45 million deal, but only if Dak doesn't throw garbage time yards. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Toby.
Situation with
I don't recall you asking you a goddamn thing.
You shut your mother ass up.
Toby doesn't know what good garbage time yards is.
Toby, I actually agreed with you earlier today, and I was saying, maybe Toby's okay.
All right, somebody's got the show on in the background. Okay, I can't stand to listen to myself. He's a jackass. I can't listen to myself, but I appreciate it. Norm, what's up, man? You got your hand raised.
What's going on with you, Mark?
Not too much. Your picture is static.
It's static?
Yeah, well, yeah. We don't see your. I mean, we got a little baby picture of you that's about 1 inch by 1 inch in the center. But that's all. Go on. What's going on, Norm?
Nothing much, man. I was wanting to reach out to you, tell you. Of course, I love the show, the videos.
Appreciate that.
How you keep us updated, man. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I want to ask, and I, like you said earlier, nobody really knows the rift between Amari and Dak. I mean, it's hard for me to fathom that two talented men like that have a rift that they allow to affect their play on the field. And I'm saying this. And I'm not blaming either one of them, but if Amari is as talented as he is, and we've seen him to be, and Dak is the leader that he's shown himself to be, my question to you is, especially being a business owner, man, workers will piss you off in a minute.
Yeah.
Do you stop being professional and do your job because they pissed you off? In other words, you can say that the Cowboys shifted him out of the game plan. But at the end of the day, just like we watched Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, Tony Romo do, at the end of the day, that's who makes the decision on who gets the ball.
Yeah, that's right. True.
And if a gentleman, and I'm serious, if we're playing this game to win and to be our best, Mark, I promise you, me and you on the field, and you were Dak and I'm Amari, or I'm Dak and you're Amari, I might not like your light-skinned ass, but if you open, I'm throwing you the ball.
That's right.
We trying to win.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree with that 100%, and that's where I was saying that sometimes you get players that you have to figure out what motivates a player.
Right.
You know, Charles Haley with the 49ers, they had to get rid of him, but Jimmy Johnson found a way to work with him. Charles, he got in Charles Haley's face and stuff, and Charles went to Jimmy and said, "Listen, I'll do anything you want me to do. Just don't embarrass me in front of everybody else." And they found a way to coexist. Now, the thing is, it could be this. Amari Cooper is a great route runner, and he's a great receiver when he wants to be. And and I'm not speculating or not saying that this is what happened. But how sometimes it seems by the body language, the lack of enthusiasm and stuff that and actually watching some of the films from time to time, you kind of see him, I'm not going full out on this route.
Well,
and some guys don't like to necessarily get, punched in the face and be able to get back up and fight. And sometimes you can say, you know what, maybe he's not there. And we're not there in that locker room all the time. When you think about Dak Prescott, who had his ankle broken, snapped off, he had his second surgery about the same time that Amari Cooper had his cleanup surgery, right?
Right.
Guess who was working out with all the OTAs and everything else, and who wasn't?
Mark, I've heard you make that analogy a couple of times.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to take up on Mark.
Yeah.
But we all heal differently. And you are right. Our motivations are different too. But here's where I'm having an issue between these two guys. We both trying to win. And just like when we talk about Zeke not producing, I liken that onto this situation. Just like Emmitt Smith, just like Michael Irvin, you have to get those guys started early. You can't not throw me the ball 3 quarters, and then in the 4th quarter expect that I'm going to be looking for the ball. You ain't been throwing it to me all day.
Mm-hmm.
You got me? Just like Zeke, you can't expect me to put 150 yards up every week when A, we don't have an offensive line, and B, you don't give me the ball but 10 times.
Yeah.
So you got to involve me in the offense. And if I'm not involved all for 3 quarters, how can you expect me to produce you a game winner all the time? And then the guy that you throw the ball to versus me leads the team in droughts. Who's now your number 1 receiver?
I agree with you on that 100%. But there's something there that we're not privy to. And if the Cowboys, are siding with Dak Prescott, with the contract and everything else, that the dynamic must be. I would find it hard to believe that the Cowboys made this decision without some input from Dak Prescott.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, okay. So
that to me, I don't know. We're only speculating, and that's all we're ever going to get. But it may be that there's a dynamic there that, maybe Dak is like, you know what? I need somebody who is, a dog, a guy who truly is ride or die. Listen, man, grab your guns. We going to go do a drive-by, okay? And we going to go take care of some business. And Amari might be the guy who's like, yeah, you know what? I'll be here when y'all come back. And it may be that I'm speculating. I'm just saying that I would find it hard to believe that the Cowboys decided, let's get rid of Amari Cooper and Dak. It was just there to say, okay. and did have some input on it.
Well, like you said, we'll never know. We can go back and forth on that.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, one last thing. I probably have to send you an email, man, but I want one of those butcher blocks.
Yeah.
With the new design. I look at the machines, man. You had that thing humming.
Well, I can put any design that you want on there. Well, as long as it's not copywritten. Okay. It's not like the NFL doesn't have enough money, and I actually looked at trying to get an NFL license. I said, maybe that'd be kind of cool. Let me get an NFL license to do merchandise. And then you found out that you have to be in business for a minimum of 4 years, and the NFL license is $100,000 a year.
Okay.
You're paying them $100,000 a year to sell their merchandise, and they get a percentage of the proceeds from it too. And it's like, damn. Okay, so
the NFL will get paid more than you, Mar.
That's what that's their idea. Look, that's why they turn you upside down and shake every cent out of you.
Exactly. That's the proud owner of the very first.
Yep, the very first piece. Off. There you go. You definitely do right there with Roger and don't say you got that, because hell, they might come after me for that picture. We own Tom Landry too. All right, give me that shit.
All you'd have to say is it was a gift.
It was a gift. That's true. It was. But I don't know. The thing, I hope that this will be the case where, when we lost DeMarcus Ware and Jason Hatcher on the defense that was 32nd in the league, we had a bunch of no names, and they joked about we wouldn't be able to stop a high school team, and we got better. Maybe this will be one of those cases that, because there's not so many weapons that are great, that the Cowboys decide instead of being a jack of all trades, they try and figure out something that they can do well completely. That's their bread and butter. Because I don't honestly know last year, what was our bread and butter? What was the thing that we look at and say, when all shit goes to crap, we can count on this? I can't think of a single thing on the offense.
Not one.
The penalties. Come on, man. Come on, Phil.
Every single time you can almost count it right off.
But no, I mean, it wasn't being able to run the football. There wasn't a particular play. Were we a deep passing team? Were we a short? I don't know. We were just a jack of all trades, and in the early part of the season, we did all those things well and got a lot of yards. But then it's crunch time. What is that thing that we got to do that we know we can do? We didn't have anything. What's that?
What is going on? You remember I sent you an email about the offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read that, but I'm a true believer that we should have let Tyron Smith go.
Bingo. Yeah. Every year we keep saying, Tyron's going to get help. And it's like every year he's out in California getting something worked on, and he's ready to go. If you're keeping him, you better make sure you go ahead and get a prime time backup for him.
But that's why I sent you that email, because I was hoping you would research it a little bit better for me. The young man, Josh Ball, that we got out of Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Voch did a deal on him, and he's pretty much Tyron, just not as strong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy would have won in the first round. So my question is, why don't you think they won't take a fly on this young man and let him play? Well, I know he was injured last year.
Yeah. It may be to try and get him a little stronger and get him ready to go and stuff like that. And he wasn't quite ready to jump into the frying pan.
Right.
And I agree with you. And there's going to be some guys that we don't know anything about that are going to be able to take another step. I mean, when you think about the step between last year and this past year for Terrence Steele, Terrence Steele was like, he got thrown into the fire and he looked bad. But when he got the opportunity this year, after having, an off season with the team, put on some more weight, learned the playbook and stuff, he's a beast. And you look at that, I think you're going to see him playing well for years for the team. And you're going to look back and say, damn, we got him as an undrafted free agent. That was a great pickup.
He was the most improved.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm still trying to figure out what our plan is for left guard right now. Connor McGovern, this is, I think, Connor McGovern's fourth year. Yeah. And, last year he got a chance to play some, and he couldn't get to the second level.
I wouldn't trust Connor McGovern. I think, with this upcoming draft next month, we gotta look at the guards that are coming out.
Well, the offensive line is supposedly stacked. A lot of great offensive linemen, a lot more speed and stuff in there. But I think you also have to look at center too, because Tyler Badish really is our only center that's a true center that's on the roster, and I don't know that he should be a starting center right now.
McGovern played center at.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did, but he can't even play guard. So you're gonna make him snap the ball and do the line calls too?
All right, so
okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'm you the offensive line guy. I just think that anybody but Tyler Badish would be better.
Well, the center could come in on the draft next month is from Iowa, Tyler Lindem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He'll be gone.
He'll most likely be gone, but
yeah, Lindenbaum
somebody's
gonna
be
gone.
Somebody's gonna slip.
I would be shocked if he were to fall, to us. I was like, if he falls to us, say, take him.
I think the only way he falls is if people don't value that that center position so high in the draft. I think that's really the only way that he falls back.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing is like when you list out people, even if you do your mock drafts and stuff like that, there's always somebody that's like, hey, that person's not going to be there. Oh, that person's not going to be there.
And they are.
Somebody drops.
CD Lamb.
Somebody out of that group drops.
Micah Parsons.
Who's your CD Lamb? Who's your, who's that person this year,
Yeah, because last year when I did like a mock draft, I had like a whole bunch of scenarios, like all the cornerbacks that we could probably take ended up being gone. And then when I posted that on Facebook, people said like, oh my God, you're crazy. Why the hell would you take Micah Parsons? You should take Kyle Pitts. It's like, and I explained to them, well, if you look at our linebacking core, Sean Lee is hurt. We need a replacement. And then can we trust Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith to be healthy?
Right.
And that was my reason why we're taking a linebacker.
Yeah. Kick Mega, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Mark? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, man.
I wanted to reach out to you. It's a malicious YouTube page on here that's been posting your content.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually flattered that somebody literally spends so much time and energy and effort in trying to denigrate. He's had several different pages and stuff, and the best thing to do is just to ignore it because he gets off on the fact if you say his name and stuff. So, and I believe he was actually in here was the guy who's saying that Mark Holmes farted and all that. They say if you don't have some haters, you're not doing something right. So I must be doing a whole hell of a lot right. So it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I just want.
But I appreciate the looking out and stuff on it. And the thing is, you can go in there and say, "Man, you're a liar," and this, that, and the other. He's gonna cuss you out. He's gonna, he's done videos and talking about Mark Holmes's biatches and stuff like. Hey, it's just like, it's somebody's just got some mental issues.
I'm gonna post me now, so I might be.
Oh yeah, he will. Yeah. He'll do a video and say, "Oh yeah," because he even went like on Mike Fisher's channel and was commenting saying that Mark Holmes steals comment, and so Mike Fisher's like, "No, I know Mark Holmes. I've got his phone number and this, that, and the other and stuff." So next thing I know, he's doing a Mike Fisher is this, that, and the other racist video. So you can't stop stupid. You just can't stop stupid.
What do you think of who we're gonna pick up? Bobby Wagner, the guy from Green Bay, or Jason Pierre-Paul?
Who do you wish?
Well, okay. With the Cowboy, I would like us to pick up Bobby Wagner, but knowing the way we do things, it would probably be JPP. Because if you're not injured and discounted, they don't want you. And I still feel like the Cowboys are trying to wipe the slate clean for Sean Payton for next year.
They need the desperateness to be leveled all the way across from the player to the organization needing each other. I mean,
you can, if you're signing Michael Gallup for a long-term deal, okay, I like Michael Gallup and all that. But if you're talking about this year and you're thinking he might not be ready, and so that's more of the reason why you try and work out with Amari Cooper. You know what I mean? That's where you say, Michael Gallup might not be ready, so let me make sure I've got Amari Cooper. But no, we're going to get rid of him. Oh, Cedric Wilson. That's some more of the reason. If you're going to get rid of Amari Cooper, that's some more of the reason to say, you know what, let me work out a deal with Cedric Wilson. Because they could have worked out a deal with Cedric Wilson and had it backloaded. We've got more money than they're going to know what to do with coming in the next couple of years. You could have kept Cedric Wilson. You know what I mean? You could have worked out a deal for him. Yes, Stacy.
It's like we said, we may not agree with all of the changes they're making. What really angers me is when you sit here and keep telling us lies, like we're not intelligent enough to figure out. We do just tell the truth. You don't want to spend the money. That's where I have the issues.
Yeah.
So let me ask this then, Mark. Where would we sit with, let's say Dallas stands pat with what they've got. What are we getting by way of compensatory picks next year for Godfrey?
For Godfrey? You mean Randy Gregory?
Or Gregory. Sorry, not Godfrey.
Randy Gregory. Let's see. I think we got a fifth for. We got a fifth this year because of Andy Dalton
this year.
Yeah, Andy Dalton was one of them, I think.
Yeah,
Randy at best might be a fourth.
Yeah, because I know
4th, 5th round.
Yeah, and other than that, you haven't had anybody.
But what defensive end does
Cedric Wilson might be a 6? Maybe Cedric Wilson ends up being a 6.
Yeah, but then you picked up the 2. That probably
that'll probably kill that one. Yeah, but
that'll probably counterset said. But
yeah,
I don't think you're going to come up with a deal for.
And now, if we get Bobby Wagner, then that kills getting anything. That would kill getting Randy Gregory pick for him.
I just don't see. I'm wondering if Dallas is just trying to do a New England here by saving, money to say, okay, well, we lost this in free agency this year. We get compensated for this next year.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But
I don't know.
But that's basically redshirting it. That's redshirting this year. I mean, that would the thing would be is we were close last year. We're a couple of players away from, if we had a little bit better on the offensive line, we could open up some more holes for Zeke and Tony Pollard, right? If we had a run stopper in the middle, maybe we wouldn't have given up, 112 yards on the ground, every week. Yeah. That maybe we could have, had a couple more stops, and maybe if we can get the pass rushing a little bit better. The Cowboys, instead of gutting the team like they are, if they kept the team the way it was, added a run stopper, another linebacker, and a defensive end and an offensive lineman, you could say, okay, they could compete.
But they were one player away, yeah.
You were only a couple of players away. Right now, you got to look and say you're even further away. And if you're talking about bringing in JPP, at best, that's a 1-year stop gap. That's not like a game changer. And for me, go ahead.
To me is Jaron Curse proved himself last year. Why the heck are you not re-signing the guy?
And here it is. Here lies the problem. So you've got a guy who, because here's the thing about Jaron Curse where it doesn't really make any sense. Jaron Curse and even Micah Parsons sign that guy. Micah Parsons recognizes with Jaron Curse, he can call out the defense. He's been in the system for a year, so he already knows the defense. He can take it to another level. That allows Micah Parsons to just focus in on getting to the quarterback's ass, as opposed to I've got to call out the defense and then try and get to the quarterback's ass. These are one of the mindless. Go ahead, Thomas.
I heard they're back at the negotiating table again.
They need to get the thing done. But
I heard the Cowboys and Jaron Curse is back at the negotiating table again.
I hope they are. But here's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me. Randy Gregory, if you really deem him a guy you want to keep, why did you ever let him go to free agency? If Jaron Curse is a guy that you really want to keep, why do you let him go to free agency?
Pride, you're a millionaire and you have much more sense than anyone else. Pride.
Right. Well, pride. No, what it is let him go out and see how much they're really worth and come back and I'll match the deal.
That's dumb.
That's what that is I don't know how to negotiate. I don't know what you're really worth. That's what that is. I don't know how much should I pay him? Well, go see what you can get someplace else and I'll match it.
You know what? As probably what Jerry done told Bobby Wagner. He probably done said, hey man, I got you, but Go see how much you work somewhere else and come back. And if you work more than what I'm giving you now, I got you anyway.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But we've seen that hasn't worked for the Cowboys.
Is that like bringing your coupon to Walmart and you get the same discount? Is that how that works?
Right.
So like we honor it here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Daddy. They know what he's worth.
I don't know. It's hard to have hope, and you all know that I have more hope than anybody else. I am Mr. Positivity, but I just don't see a plan here. It seems like it's just like a whole bunch of different, undirected moves that they're trying to make. Oh, we're trying to save money on the salary cap. Well, what are we saving money for? I don't know, but we need to have some money. Oh, well, we don't want to pay this guy and stuff like that. We're going to lowball it. It's like you can't win Super Bowl winners these days with being bargain basement shopping. You have to have a couple of good studs in there. Yes, ma'am.
Like I said before, we're not going to anything to denigrate and assault players, former players. That's not how you win friends and influence people. And again, you don't release negativity into the universe and then receive positivity back. You get receive negativity.
Yeah. You put out in the universe what you want to get back. Yeah.
Right.
Basic common sense. You can't throw out negativity. I mean, you can't throw out negativity knowing that it will result in the positivity.
Right.
That's basic common sense.
That's mathematics, right?
Yep.
Well, common sense and Dallas Cowboys don't really go together.
No.
When has it ever?
Right. So I don't know. It's just a situation. But why would you continue to? And Mark, like you said, we start on the right path. Last year with Jerry crying, and he still hasn't added Jimmy to the Ring of Honor.
Yep.
You have to do things right. That's life.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Hector, how you doing, man?
I am doing blessed, and I hope everybody's doing blessed as well. And I always say I'm doing blessed even on my worst day.
Oh, that's good. Hang on for 1 second. I got to see what Roscoe's problem is. Hang on.
All right, Hector, it's your show, man. Do your thing.
Nah, not my show. Believe me. Look, we've all been in organizations, from sports to business to work, bosses. Sometimes, I hear a lot of Cowboys down on this Randy Gregory thing. And I look at it, instead of a gloom and doom, I look at it as a positive. See, we're not there when they're coaching these players up. And I really think Lance Armstrong, I believe that's his name.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
I think this new kid that they signed within the organization, he had 5 sacks last year, if I'm wrong?
6. Yeah, 6.
6, yeah.
5 or 6, yeah, around there.
How many did Gregory have? I mean,
6. I think it was 6.
Same amount, I think. 6.5.
Yeah. Plus, you don't have the headache of, oh my God, is he going to go out there and do something dumb?
And
you know what? I really think keeping this one kid and letting Gregory go and walk, not only did it save money, but the coaches probably said, hey, look, this is an upcoming kid that we're getting the same productivity from Randy Gregory. We can let him walk, even though we tried to sign him and we tried to make sure we cover our ass, even though the wording of that contract was Mark explained it perfectly. It was a little bit skewed more to the organization, but they got to cover themselves too. Even though the wording's a little dirty and it's in the CBA, but I really think a lot of people are overlooking and not giving this guy a chance. This kid was not a starter all year, and he came up with 5 to 6 sacks. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if you give him the whole year? We might have a stud.
Yeah, it could be our steal of this year.
Yeah, given the opportunity.
And everybody deserves a shot. I mean, hey, look, how many of us ever?
Well, I tell you what would definitely help him is if you had Bobby Wagner at middle linebacker.
Oh, Oh,
and then you got
definitely would help him if he had a big, heavy,
big guy in the
like
middle,
you say,
dumpster full of gravel
in the middle to take on, that double team.
Yeah, that would help extremely.
If we can get one of those dumpster boys, and I know Mark's been saying this, and I've been saying this.
They don't believe in that though. They are all sizzle and no substance. They don't realize that all this shit starts out from the line, defensive line, and offensive line.
It all starts from the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
I know not too many people are old, but I know that we're all old enough to remember the refrigerator Perry.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, when I was a young, I'm not saying I'm that young, or that old, but I remember this guy being a mountain in the middle. I mean, they even put him as fullback, and they even ran for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. But I'm talking about when you had the refrigerator out there, and you had other players and other teams, because the NFL's a copycat team. When they started putting those guys in the middle and they couldn't be moved, those linebackers were flying.
Yeah.
And I mean, Singletary, as great as he was, I don't think he would be as great if he didn't have a refrigerator in front of him.
Go up and get
that
David.
Defense was loaded. They had Steve McMichael,
and Richard Dent, and guys. I mean,
Rodney Hampton.
Yeah. I mean, they had a dominant defensive line.
Hello.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to say is I think that Dante Fowler pick or free agent sign up, I think that's going to surprise some people.
I hope so.
I think he is going to surprise some people because you think about it, he's already got the productivity of Randy Gregory.
I know it's more surprising than the sign.
He's stronger, and he costs less money.
Sure.
Trucker, what's happening?
What you making right now? You know you're making something. We know you're cooking something right there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Whatever you know, cooking in there smells damn good. I can smell it right through the phone.
Yeah, I got something going in there. My daughter wanted a seafood boil, so I got something going in there for her.
Nice. And Maurice Jenkins, I know you were saying something. I'm sorry. I think you got cut off.
Oh, how's everybody doing? Thank you, Mark.
No problem.
How's everybody today? Thanks for letting me
in. Yourself?
Good. I've been listening to a lot because I was on a call on the other end, but I agree with a lot of what everybody's saying, but I have a few things I want to say. I'll try to make it quick. As far as that contract language, I mean, and as fans, we all kind of, come up with all these different scenarios. It appears to me, it seems like that language is in the contracts of every player. And now we can go back to when Dak was negotiating. The CAA, that agency that he's a part of, if it's one thing I know from living in LA for 10 years, they don't mess around. They represent the best of the best. So when that contract was going on and the media likes to throw all these different, narratives around, I believe they push back on that same language, and that's the reason why that language is not.
Oh, definitely.
A lot of these players on the team know that language is in there, and a lot of them are not saying anything about it. When you hear Dez and these players saying stuff like this, it's starting to come out, and Dallas is being uncovered for a lot of stuff that they're doing behind closed doors. We as fans, we kind of suffer, we're rooting for this team, but this billionaire organization, they do what they want to do, irregardless of fans, players, or whatever. Their bottom line is the money, and that's really it. Because when you have where there's a tiff, like I think I heard one of the gentlemen, I don't know, I think his name was Noah. He was talking about there's a tiff between Dak and Coop.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a tiff between any players, if it involves the quarterback, the organization is always going to go
with the quarterback,
on the side of the quarterback, because that's the face of the organization. That's just what it is. So whether they had, some tiff or not, hey, he's not here anymore. It kind of sucks because we're not better without him. That's to be honest. But can we get there? Yeah, we can, but we got to make some moves. That Bobby Wagner move, I hope we can make that move.
Even like this minute, I had to do it.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on that. And you're right. It's always going to be the quarterback is the hardest one to replace, and we're going to side with the quarterback because there is no other quarterbacks that can just jump in and take over.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and one of the other things is, the team. And I'm going to say this. I know I probably echo the words of few, maybe. But this team has had some karma as a result of what's been going on behind closed doors. So whenever something goes wrong in an organization, you have to start at the top. So whatever that is about Jerry's, child from 20 plus years ago, whatever these things they're sweeping under the rug and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
It all trickles down eventually. To me, I feel like a lot of their misfortune over this last more than 25 plus years, darn near 30 years, it's got a lot to do with that. It starts at the top.
Yeah. Somebody's got the sound on the background, so we're getting a lot of reverb.
Oh, I'm sorry. That might be me.
Okay.
Yeah. That doesn't mean, that excuses penalties and things of that nature. But I really feel like a lot of these players are under a lot of pressure under that organization, i.e., again, a billionaire corporation like corporate America.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just not saying anything. And it's unfortunate because we have a lot of talented players and really should be doing, like the fella that was just on, we should be able to replace a Gregory. But you know what? Gregory's representation, that language wasn't just slipped in there at the 11th hour. That's what the media wants us to hear.
Yeah.
That language is in there. They challenged it, and Dallas just got caught with their, pants down.
And decided, no, we're not taking that out.
And if I'm going to get a fully guaranteed contract, be able to go to a state where marijuana is not an issue at all, and Russell Wilson's going to be my, the quarterback, why am I not going to go? So more power to that kid, and thankfully he got his contract and got his money, because like Mark, you point this out all the time. When he was off the field, he wasn't getting paid for it. So he still had to do what he had to do to stay with the team. Yes, they looked out for him and they were there for him, but you know what? He did what he had to do as well. It's time to get paid. And when it's time to get paid, you can't just, justify not paying somebody because you want to hold something over their head. We all have vices and issues. He didn't do anything, he's not shooting up schools and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, give me a break. We're talking about, some off-field issues. Those are not really issues when you look at it, what this kid went through. So more power to him. Hope he does well. As far as Coop, hope he does well as well. I got to be honest, that number 2 Cooper Brown jersey looks sweet too. I don't know if you guys saw it. That jersey looks sweet, to be honest.
All right, well, appreciate that. So we're coming in on an hour and a half here. We got a few more minutes left to go ahead and get our final venting in. Do we
Mark,
feel
check your email as well? I sent an email. I sent you my number and everything, and I'm not sure if you're seeing that.
Yeah, I get a lot of emails, and sometimes it's hard. I'm not really great with emails and stuff. I'm more of, can I talk to somebody?
Email address down, and maybe you could see if you've gotten an email address.
Don't put it out there, because we've got my famous troll out there, and he will troll you to death. Just send me another email on it, and I can double check it. Yeah,
trust me, his wife will get back to you.
Yeah, actually, go to the Thrive site and send an email on there and just say, "Attention, Tracy, make sure Mark gets this." And believe me, as Roland will let you know, I'll get bitch slapped.
Which one to go to again? Say it again. Which one?
The Thrive site, the membership site.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, Okay. I can guarantee anybody who is a channel member, if you are a channel member, go to the community tab, and there's a link in there for you for our Thrive site. And Tracy, my wife, handles all that. So I can guarantee if you leave a message on there, AKA get it to Mark, believe me, it'll get put in my hands, and I'll get the look.
Okay, cool. And one last thing, Jay Nook,
you better take care of this.
I'm not sure if I'm late to the party, but Jay Nook, who does everybody say you look like? Because I'm not sure if he's your relative or what.
Don't say Suge Knight.
No, Larry Allen. Nobody has said that on here.
Oh man! All right,
man, I done heard everything. Larry Allen, Suge Knight, Hootie.
Look at Jay Nook. Pull up a picture real quick. Just put in Google Larry Allen pictures and then look at him. Am I right? Somebody has to have it.
Yeah.
I like that background, Jay Nook.
Picture of Larry Allen. And pull it up and then look at Jay Nook.
What is your problem?
I wish I had his money.
Amen to that.
Is that, am I right? Did somebody see the picture?
Yeah.
I could see it as soon as you said it. I was
he looks just pull up picture of Larry Allen.
But hey, Mark, I had a question though.
What's that? Roscoe, what is your
with this Bobby Wagner still being on the market, do you think that could drive his price down, and that's what the Cowboys are waiting for?
I hope. I can hope, or they already have a wink deal already set up for him.
I'm just trying to wait till everything dies down to get some more air on it.
It actually, you know what I think it is? Here's what I really think it is. They have the deal already in place for him, but they're going to wait until that day before Jerry Jones has the court hearing about his daughter and spring it on us. So that way it'll keep, we'll all be talking about Bobby Wagner, the Cowboys. Oh, the Cowboys did. Oh, look at what they've done. And won't be talking about the paternity suit.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones found out he has a daughter.
Well, that's what we're talking about. The act where she wants to be recognized as his daughter, that's on the 31st of the month. So next week, next Wednesday is the court hearing. So what better way than Tuesday to spring on Bobby Wagner is coming to the Dallas Cowboys?
That is true. I didn't even think about that.
I have a daughter, but here's my new son. Boom.
There you go. Because that'll definitely get that will literally get the media to break the internet and go from that point.
Jerry Jones met her mom at a spa.
Was it with the Patriots owner?
He was on a spa date with Kraft.
Yep.
They met some young ladies
right after winning that last Super Bowl too. How about them Cowboys?
Jerry over celebrated.
He wrangled more in than just money.
Mm-hmm.
he over celebrated that Super Bowl win and went to one glory hole to a minute.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I think I was going to say that, but I saw Roland's review on it, so I didn't say that.
Have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I too been
we grown.
For years.
We're grown folks.
It is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't.
I know, but
and so
you remind me a lot of my late mom.
I want me some glory.
Just the way you carry yourself.
Uh-huh.
So I just look at it a little different.
So I have that perspective.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah, if I showed you a picture of my mom 2 years ago, you'd be like, "Oh shit."
Hey, send me an email. I want to see her picture.
Okay, I was actually thinking about her today. I'm actually gonna post a picture of her on my Facebook or my Instagram.
Okay, and I'm following you, so I'll try to look that up.
I know I haven't been posting very much on there, but it's been a tough week.
Yo, Truck, what's your Instagram name?
Truckers Life 78.
Gotcha.
All right. Well,
yeah, after we get through on here, I'm gonna look you up and I'm gonna give you a follow, bro.
Well, actually, it is 6:00, and I actually have a pot roast in there that has been cooking slowly for some pulled beef tacos, and I need to go ahead and get that thing out and let it cool down some so I can shred that meat and things. Yes. But let me say thank you to everybody who's come in on the Zoom chat and all. And Roland, my head hurts from you slapping me so much today.
Good.
Hey, Mark, you talking about that roast shredded beef?
Yeah.
I made a whole chicken in my truck yesterday because my daughter wanted one.
Ooh, you take care of her, man. But hopefully,
I'm a dad before I'm anything.
Yeah, hopefully our Cowboys can turn this frown upside down and they can get some shit together and change the narrative. Definitely. But right now, I can see the fan base. Man, I don't think I've ever seen our fan base this upset. But we'll keep following the headlines, and of course, tomorrow we'll find out what stupid thing did Stephen Jones do. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 9:00 Eastern, we'll have our regular live stream. Shout out to all of the Zoom call-in people. Shout out to everybody who spent Sunday afternoon here with us. And it's time to roll up out of here. You ain't got to go home, but it's time to turn out the lights. Oh, wait, I don't even have the lights ready. But I'll tell you what,
Hey, Mark,
it's time.
Mark, what do you got in the oven?
I have a, it's not in the slow cooker. I've actually got a chuck roast that's been slow cooking for some shredded beef.
I'm just about to pull out my pork loin that I stuffed.
We all just cooking, huh?
Yeah, you gotta cook.
Man, I need a kitchen like y'all got, man. I'm stuck in a truck.
Yeah, we got some pork chops going in the kitchen.
There you go. Oh, come on, I just took it out of the oven.
Hey, Mark, I got a question for you. You finished Basements? I know this is a live show, but
hold on.
About 9 months.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
I fired his ass. I fired his ass. I mean, how he's gotta be stupid.
Stupid.
What are you doing? You just let